What's up, guys? It's me again, Christian Rodriguez, and today I got a good one for you. So, I'm going to talk about why you need to stop wasting energy on things you cannot control, right? I making this video because I see this all the damn time. And it's not even kids, because kids it's excusable. It's pretty excusable when you're a kid, right? But when you're an adult, right? You're an adult male and you're getting angry or you're reacting emotionally to sports, right? To politics, to TV shows, to to gossip, right? Maybe other people's lives, right? Stuff like that. It just it's a waste. First of all, it's a waste of energy. It's a waste of time, right? And it kind of like just it subtly like tells people like what your priorities are, right? Like if you want to be around someone who's high level, someone who's successful, right? They're not talking about shit like this. Like you say something like that in front of someone like that, someone who's successful, they're gonna want to get away from you. They're gonna be like, "Oh, I don't want to deal with this person. This person clearly has nothing going on in his life because that's all he's talking about." Right? Even top women, right? The women that you want to be with, right? They're gonna notice. They're gonna be like, "Oh, like this guy is very I don't want to be. This is not someone I want to be with." Right? And they're gonna want to get away from you. So like this is why I thought it'd be a good idea to make this video, right? Focusing, right? Like focusing on outside circumstances, right? Unless, sure, if you plan on doing something about it, right? If you plan on actually like doing the work, like, are you plan on you hear maybe the president makes something, right, that you don't like in Washington D.C. So you decide, you know what, I'm gonna lead a protest. I'm gonna make a movement. I'm gonna do something like Martin Luther King did, right? If you're willing to do something like that, then maybe there's some leniency and there's like a purpose behind it. Then sure. But for 95% or 99 fucking percent of the time, it's people just complaining because they want to complain about something, right? And waste their energy on that type of BS stuff, right? And the thing is, right, it almost makes you sound like you're immature, right? It just makes you seem very immature, right? And also very unproductive, right? Because you have nothing else going on, right? And think of it like this, like your mental bandwidth, right? It starts off with like a full health bar, like in a video game, right? And then as the day progresses, it slowly gets lower and lower, right? What are you wasting it on, right? Are you wasting it on bullshit? Are you wasting it on stuff that doesn't have anything to do with your goals? Or are you using it up for everything for your goals, right? You have to really think about that. Don't waste it on bullshit, right? I'll give you an example, right? So I'm a New York Mets fan. I'm from New York. The Mets missed the playoffs, right? This past year, they were expected to be among the World Series winners, right? They were like they were like top two or three in the power rankings after they signed Juan Soto, and they were expected to like be up there for like World Series contenders, and they ended up missing the playoffs entirely, right? Sure, I was disappointed. I'm not gonna say that I wasn't, right? But I also didn't lose my shit for it. I didn't get angry about it. I didn't punch the wall and cry and call WFAN, which is the radio, which is the famous radio show in New York, and be like, the Mets need to fire everyone. They need to fire. They need to clean house. They need to get rid of that player. Because there's people that do that, right? And no, I didn't do that. I just was like, oh, that's unfortunate. And then I went back to my life and started focusing on my own life. I started focusing on my own goals, right? Because that's how it should be. That's how all of this needs to be like. That's how you need to treat everything that has nothing to do with your goals. Maybe treat it like entertainment, because that's basically what it is. That's literally what it is. Unless you're getting paid by them or you're directly affected by them, which most likely you're not, right? And that's the thing. I also see this with politics, and the politics one is very common because I live in Chicago, right? So like I walk in the park, I walk in the street, I'll be in the L, which is the Chicago subway, and I'll notice graffiti, and I'll say like F Trump, right? Or like F these racist police, or F, and I get it. I really do get it. But even when I grew up in New York, I would see graffiti of F Joe Biden, right? Or F this. Like I would see like all these political things, and I don't want to make this a political video because I know how much of a touchy subject that is, and I'm talking about this for both sides. I'm not talking about this like I'm picking one side, because what I see is people, but regardless of what political side you're in, right? I notice people do this from both sides. They always find something to complain about. They waste energy on what someone's doing in Washington D.C., right? You have most likely no control. Most likely you have zero control of what's going on in Washington D.C., of what policies are going on, what are happening. You have no control over it, right? And if you're spending time watching CNN or Fox News, which is basically a debate bitching about the opposite side, it's gonna get into your brain, and you're gonna start thinking of the world. It's gonna affect your reticular activation system, and you're gonna start focusing on the entire world, and you're gonna start thinking of it as politics. You're gonna see every little thing with politics. Like people are gonna start talking. You're gonna be talking about vacation, and then you're gonna talk about, yeah, but because whoever's in office, it's gonna be tough to go on vacation because everyone is. I hear this stuff all the time. It gets into your brain, right? And you don't need that shit to get in your brain. You don't need it to affect your life. It really shouldn't be beyond entertainment, right? And I just read the biography of Steve Jobs, right, by Walter Isaacson, right? It's a great book. I'm almost done with it, right? But not once in that fucking book it mentioned that Steve Jobs was losing his shit. He lost his shit a lot, but he wasn't losing his shit on the news. He wasn't watching. It didn't talk about him watching sports games or watching the president and reacting, unless it had something to do with any of his businesses, which were either Apple or Pixar, right? If it had nothing to do with those, he did not give a shit, right? He was focused on his mission. He was focused on that, right? And that's what led to him becoming one of the most successful men in the world, right? Or in history. He built the most successful business in history, Apple, right? And yeah, losing sleep over petty shit that's out of your control, even gossip, right? Losing sleep over stuff like that. It's not a productive use of your energy. Just remember that, right? It doesn't help you with your goals, and you need to just really like exit out. Just or just make light of it. If it's sports, make light of it, treat it strictly like entertainment, and go back to your life. If it's politics, oh, that's unfortunate, or oh, that's good, and then you go back to your life, right? You don't need to gloat about it. You don't need to really get angry about it, right? Because it's gonna do nothing. Does nothing. I promise you, it will do nothing, right? And you really have to manage your energy and your focus, right? Because that's limited, as I mentioned before. And to be honest, I'm gonna leave it at that. I just thought this would be something good to talk about because I notice this very often with grown adults, not just children, but grown adults, right? And I'm gonna leave it there. If you guys like this video, subscribe. Yeah, take care.